My last video showed you how to annotate in the text. This video is going to show how I've taken notes in a slightly different way. So we're going to take a look at the kind of arc of the plot of this scene and also look at how it relates to the characters. The arc of the plot. Right, so we can start with a setting down here. We can have rising action. And the scene itself can have its climax, where the action gets the most intense.
In this scene, if you recall, we kind of have this little pre-scene, like scene before the action starts, and that's the princesses in the castle. The castle in the air. And then we have Milo and company heading towards the land of ignorance. And when I lay it out this way, it just kind of helps me see the flow of the action that we're going to see. Now, what I'm going to do underneath is, I know that I need to be taking some notes on the characters, and I know that one of our big standards is to understand how the action in the scene affects the characters. So, for me, having this chart laid out like this is
helpful. So in this beginning scene, we meet the characters Rhyme. I'll circle our characters, and we have Reason. And these are our two princesses that Milo is out trying to rescue. We do learn a little bit about them. We know that Rhyme speaks in verse, or at least when she's nervous. And she must be nervous because she's speaking in rhyme in the beginning of the text. And we also know that she's a bit pessimistic. Right? She sees the worst possibilities in every situation. And she's kind of sitting up there thinking, no, here's another rescuer who's going to bite the dust. And we have Reason. And Reason is not, it's not that she's super optimistic. She's kind of saying there's a 50-50 chance that that they might be rescued. So this is all from our first, even before the action starts. Then we go to Milo into the land of the ignorance, and let's think about the characters. He meets this word snatcher. And what do we know about the word snatcher? Well, it's a bird. And we also know that it's not a demon. It's not a demon, but it does give Milo and his crew a warning. And we also know that the bird is kind of a nuisance. Right, the bird says, "Oh, I'm a nuisance. I am not a demon, even though like I might look malicious." Malicious is one of our words, meaning with a bad intent. The word snatcher doesn't have a bad intent, but it is kind of annoying the way it kind of listens to each of the words and misunderstands and misinterprets them. But this is on a rising action, and this is just a character who's going to warn our main characters. Once we get up to here to the main part of this scene, though, here come the demons. And for those of you who made predictions the other day, you are right about the demons. We have to keep our eye out, though. There's something more than just the demons. And let's take a quick look. We have the terrible Trivium is up first. And what do we know about this word trivium? It sounds like trivia, trivial, and these are things that are small and unimportant. And what does he do? What is it that he does to try and trap them? Well, he has them do these ridiculous tasks of moving sand with tweezers, and they figure out that it's going to take them 837 years. So he makes them do unimportant things or tasks. I'm going to put this little dot here because I also want to be thinking about why the author put these things in there. What is that? We even have some theme developing through this. I'm going to leave that blank there. Now we also go on to, we have the demon of insincerity. Insincerity means a lack of honesty. And if you recall, they trusted the voice of the lack of insincerity, and it led them into a trap. So they trusted it and ended up in trap. Okay, so I'm also going to say, wait a minute, there's probably a reason that the author used this demon. And then they come across, there's a group of demons. I'm not going to list them all, but you can go back to paragraph 72. And even if you look at the names of those, the overbearing know-it-all, the gross exaggeration, the demons of compromise, those are all things that the author is saying are things that could get in the way of Milo accomplishing his goal. Now let's move on to this last one because there's going to be a question about this one. And we have the census taker. And this is a nice play on words because right now, if you know about the census is a process where in the United States we count every single person. But in this case, he's using a word that sounds the same, census. And what does the census taker do? Well, it tries to slow them down and it distracts them using their 5 senses. Right, so we have touch, smell, he puts out the circus music. All these things stop them in their tracks, and they're kind of in a trance. The census taker distracts Milo and his group using their 5 senses, smell, touch, sight, etc. But what he's really trying to take away is their sense of purpose and their sense of duty and their sense of proportion. And these are a different way of using the word sense. But what he can't take away their sense of humor. Right? And this is where one of your questions has to do with that gift that they got, that box of laughter. And it actually saves them. Now I want to come back and think about, too, why this is important. So these are my notes that I kept for our reading yesterday and how to make sense of not only the action and the plot as it moved along, but how it related to the characters. I'll post a picture of this on the Schoology page.